So you're going to start by measuring your material, and you're going to want it to be as wide as the top of your basket, and then for every inch deep your basket is, you want to add another 2 inches to the width of your fabric. So my basket is 18 inches wide, and it's also 7 inches deep, so I'm going to add an extra 14 inches to the width of my material, so I'm going to be cutting a piece of material that is 35 inches wide. Now you're going to end up with some ends that are slightly frayed, and you're going to want to cut those off before you start sewing. But you'll also find that there may be 2 edges that aren't fraying at all. That's known as the bias edge, and if you have a bias edge, don't bother cutting that off because it'll save you sewing. It doesn't unravel, so you don't even have to worry about hemming that side. So just use a rotary cutter or a pair of scissors to cut off any frayed edges and get everything a nice smooth side. So what you're going to do is just loosen the screw and pull off the regular presser foot, and you're going to put on the hammer foot. Then tighten the screw back up. Now the hammer foot has this crazy looking little scroll thing here, and that is what pulls the material through and folds it over to make the hem. So then set your stitch regulator dial to 9 stitches to the inch. Now to start the material, you're just going to take the raw edge to be hemmed, and you're going to roll it up into the scroll. And once you've got that in there, you want to pull it up and to the left until the very end of it is under the needle. Then you'll drop your presser foot. And so then what you want to do is just keep the same amount of material going through the hammer foot. You want to make sure that this amount stays the same. And so you'll start it just like any other sewing project. You'll hold the tails and then turn the balance wheel 2 or 3 times. And then once that's started, just hold on to your fold and let the machine do the work. Now since you're not sewing the bias edge, you only have 2 sides that you have to do, so you won't have to go around any corners. So when you get to the end of one side, you just end it like normal. You'll spin the balance wheel a few times with your hand, and you'll just spin it all the way to the edge, and this will continue to fold itself up right to the edge of the fabric. So just go all the way to the end. Then of course raise up your needle, pull out your material, and then tie the threads off on both ends. And then of course you'll do the same thing to the other raw edge of the material. So what that does is it creates a nice even precision hemline on both sides of the fabric, and it's a lot easier than trying to fold it over by hand and sew it. So once you've got both of the raw edges sewn, flip your material right side out and put it right in your basket. And that should be long enough to allow the edges to drape over nicely.